Hey, you're listening to Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0. This is Grady Hooker, episode 93. And live on Skype, we've got Josh.
Hey.
And we've also got Brandon.
Hello.
So we're going to start off the Christmas edition of Raw, talking about Ho Ho Hogan.
AKA Santa with muscles. Yes, that is a real movie.
Yeah. But it's another 16-odd minute segment to start off Raw. We're starting to get into that segment starting it off now.
Yeah, Ho Ho Hogan kind of looked a lot like Hulk Hogan, but I'm not too sure if they're the same person.
Did come out to his music.
Yeah, that's gimmick infringement right there.
Yeah, it's a Christmas episode, so I'm gonna let them off with it.
You know, they had to use Hogan because they couldn't use Saint Nick.
Yeah.
Because he was already booked for another thing.
But we get a John Cena Seth Rollins match.
Yeah, it was a pretty good match as well.
John Cena defeated Seth Rollins as well. Again.
Unfortunately. But Seth Rollins, he was unbelievable, and so was John Cena. It was a pretty good performance by the two men.
So we got Seth still. He's losing a lot lately, especially against John Cena, but I guess that's expected when we're trying to build up Cena.
Yep, but it's John Cena.
It's John Cena. It's sad that we can use that as a answer to everything.
Yeah, whenever you're in a feud with John Cena, you're expected to lose and not come out looking strong at all.
Except on the very small occasion.
Yeah.
The next match, Fandango defeating Jack Swagger.
It was a pretty quick match.
How Jack Swagger has fallen.
Yeah, it looks like without Zeb, he's kind of lost.
Or Fandango's risen, one or the other.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards more Jack Swagger's lost.
Yeah, we were meant to believe him as a credible threat against Rusev, and now he's losing against Fandango.
Yeah, like without Zeb, he's been a totally different person.
So what's with Zeb? Zeb's just recovering?
I believe so.
Makes sense. Now we get a R-Truth Adam Rose. Was this meant to be a dance-off or a match?
I believe it was a match.
Okay.
But it turned into a dance-off.
It turned into an R-Truth win.
Yeah, it did. A very rare R-Truth win.
I don't know, he did break the streak.
Oh yes, Bo Dallas's huge streak.
It was bigger than 21-0.
That's true.
Yeah. So Adam Rose is fully flipped out on the bunny now, has he?
I think so.
To me, it seemed at least like Adam Rose just demolished the bunny.
Yeah, let's say
He's
he's
getting
done.
closer and closer to the Leo Kruger character.
Who's in the bunny suit?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. It's happening. Roman Reigns and Big Show.
Yeah, looks like we're gonna see Roman Reigns versus the Big Show at the Royal Rumble or at the the Fastlane pay-per-view, which is a new pay-per-view.
I would go with Royal Rumble, and I would have Reigns win the match, but get taken out by the Big Show, like chokeslam through the announce table or something, that results in him being carted off, so that people don't think that Roman Reigns is going to be one in the Rumble match itself, or two, actually win it. So that when he does come out and he does win it, it'll be a shock.
Okay. I can see that happening. But I could also see WWE just taking the lazy route and just putting them both in the Rumble match. But I know next week on Raw, that Reigns show seems to be continuing, so...
Yep.
And that, show actually got the upper hand.
It's because it's apparently the cool thing to bury your opponent underneath the announce table anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Show totally buried Roman Reigns. Literally.
Yeah, I'd go with figuratively.
No, it was literally, because he buried him underneath an announce table.
True. I'm thinking, I've confused myself. Let's move on before I confuse myself further. Natalia versus Brie Bella.
Yeah, it looks like Natalia's going to get in the title picture. Naomi, she got beat by Nikki, so it was like Nikki has to move on. And I'd actually love to see Natalia take the Divas Championship.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't.
Well, the main part of this feud's that Tyson Kidd wore Nikki Bella's hat.
Yeah. Yeah, how dare Tyson?
It definitely seems to be more of a Tyson-Natalia thing than the Bella twins at all.
Yeah, it's like Natalia's very controlling over Tyson. And I would honestly wear the Nikki Bella. I think it looks kind of cool, so I don't really blame Tyson at all. And as long as we get Natalia, we're going to get Tyson Kidd, and that makes me happy.
We have seen lately Tyson Kidd teaming up with Cesaro.
Yeah, I love that too. So as long as we have Tyson Kidd on TV, it's A-okay.
But, so are we all thinking that Natalia's going to be the next challenger?
I think she's going to be the next challenger.
I don't think she will be.
Who are you voting for?
I'm leaning towards a yes, because we haven't really seen anybody else besides Naomi in the title picture, and Naomi got beat by Nikki, so I'm not too sure.
I don't know who, but I don't think it'll be Natalia. Maybe it'll be Emma, just to give Nikki a match she win.
I don't know. If we're going with, like, they're going to have a match at Royal Rumble and there's going to be a storyline purpose to it, then you've got to go Natalia. But if it's going to be a filler match, then whoever.
With the Divas, there's never really a storyline purpose with anything they do.
That is
unless it's involved with Total Divas.
That's a good point. Who's the new cast on Total Divas? Alicia Fox and Paige. There you go, just shove Alicia Fox in. Problem solved. So now it is time to go to our classic entrance theme. It is Ravens. And you're back with Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, Grady, Josh, and Brandon. So where we left off on Raw, we got Los Matadors versus Gold and Stardust. And we got Al Rudolph.
Yeah, something like that. Los Matadores picks up the win. Yeah, it's a big fall from grace for Goldust and Stardust. Ever since losing the tag team straps, they haven't been that good.
It's time to break them up. It's time to break them up.
I will sing the same tune as you, Josh. I totally agree. It's time for Cody Rhodes to make his return.
They're going to implode.
Hopefully.
You've got to, if you get defeated by El Torito. Isn't that like a rule? If he beats you, that's it. Your tag team, you're gone, just split up.
Yeah, you know you're at the bottom when El Torito pins you. So
this is probably just leading into the WrestleMania match that Goldust had wanted for a couple of years.
Hopefully it does. I'd love to see that match.
Or it's leading into some weird coincidence where Goldust leaves, but Stardust stays as Stardust and never goes back to Cody Rhodes.
That'd be awful.
What's wrong with Stardust?
I love the Stardust character, but it's not working for him right now. He's kind of floating towards the bottom with Goldust, and they're being surpassed by people like the Ascension, the Usos, Miz, and Sandow, who may also break up soon.
Yeah, Miz and Mizdow are getting close as well. I think there's
Unfortunately, so...
But then we've definitely got the Ascension coming up, so the tag team division's moving. I don't know.
It's moving.
I don't know in what direction just yet, but it's moving.
Up or down, it's just moving.
We're going to see a lot of squash matches over the next couple of months.
Classic WWE bringing in a person from NXT who they want to build up. Just shove them in squash matches. Now we've got an Intercontinental Championship match. Dolph Ziggler versus Luke Harper.
These two have great chemistry together. It's possible that this, in 10 years, that this may be the Cena Orton feud, the Cena Edge feud that we talk about in terms of greatness.
If they keep
for
going,
the next generation.
if they keep going the way they're going and putting on the matches they are, then sure. It's whether they can keep up to that level of awesome.
Yeah, Luke Harper and Dolph Ziggler, I have to say, are the hottest talents right now in ring-wise. The past number of matches, whether it be against each other or someone else, the matches have been pretty good.
And Ziggler definitely, even if he's got the Intercontinental title, seems to be near the top of the card. And at least how they're trying to play him off.
Yeah, it's well-deserved, too, because he's been very good in the ring for, I have to say, for like the past 2 years. And he's finally getting up there with people like John Cena in terms of popularity. The reaction from the crowd when he comes out is huge.
Even if he does wear the title around the wrong way.
Yeah, he switches it around when he wiggles, so...
We got Roddy Piper interviewing Lana and Rusev. It was a very short Piper's pit.
Yeah, but we did get a good gift in Ryback. He had a bow and everything.
Oh. Did we have to put a bow on Ryback?
I don't think so.
It was Boback. I found it funny, and one thing that I've really enjoyed is listening to the crowd when he comes out, when his music hits. They are into Ryback big time.
They bought in. Yeah, hopefully, again, it stays like that, because we've seen Ryback be top of the popularity and then plummet.
Yeah,
we're not hearing something we heard the first time. We're not hearing the loud Goldberg chants.
True.
Yeah, I can't even recall the last time I heard a Goldberg chant. It's like they all forgot about Goldberg and they're finally seeing just Ryback. They're not seeing anybody else. They're just seeing Ryback.
And it's because of the way they built him this time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Last time they had him squashing Tyler Rex and Kurt Hawkins every week while they were building him.
Yeah.
And this time they had him beating legitimate wrestlers in legitimate matches.
Yeah, and plus they're not making him look invincible. You had him get pinned at Survivor Series. And you've had him been taken down by people like Rusev. So the last time he was invincible, he would win everything, every attack. But now he's been taken down a couple of times. So now he's finally human. He's not some invincible superhero.
And we definitely get a glimpse of him being human next week on Raw in a
yes, definitely.
Spoilers. But yeah, the interesting thing is coming out of this whether Ryback or Rusev's going to win the match.
A part of me, even though I love Rusev, I want Ryback to win this.
See, I don't know.
Question is if it's the right time for it. That's the only question I have about it. Because I don't think Rusev has to be his first official loss. Has to be at WrestleMania.
I think it's the kind of thing that could either make him or absolutely break him.
Rusev, he's starting to get actual boos from the crowd. People are starting to... He's actually one of the few heels that get a reaction from the crowd right now. And Seth Rollins is one of the other ones. But, yeah, if they push Rusev right, and then again, you can't totally make him look superhuman, and they're starting to bring him down a notch to be human. I think that he's going to be a big heel in this company, as long as they do the right things with him.
I don't know, if I've got to predict a finish, I'm definitely going to go with a non-clean one, whether it's like a DQ or a count-out, just because I don't think right now, either of them, it's the right time for them to take a big loss.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's not the right time for either of them to win it, and I think they could maybe stretch it out to WrestleMania, and that's where Rusev finally gets beat by Ryback, and that could definitely elevate the U.S. title.
Or just do the lazy thing again and not book them in a match for Royal Rumble and just huff them in the Rumble match itself. Have Ryback eliminate Rusev, which isn't too bad, and then have them have their match at Fastlane, which is a non-clean finish, and then head into WrestleMania where they have their big match.
Yeah, I think that would be definitely a logical choice.
And then not squish Ryback under the big opponent.
Yeah, they definitely need to find a way to make these two men look strong, even in defeat.
So we got how many is that? 6 Diva, what is it, Santa's Little Helper match?
Yeah, we get it like every year.
Alicia Fox, Emma, and Naomi versus Paige, Cameron, and Summer Rae.
And Paige was over big time in the match.
Was Paige the one who got the biggest pop out of all 6?
Paige was the only one that got a pop out of those 6.
Good call, good call.
And they were chanting and cheering for her during the match.
Kinda.
I wonder how much of that might have been the segment they did on Main Event a couple of weeks ago with Eric Rowan.
I actually finally got around to seeing that segment. It was quite a good segment, to be honest.
I just had hoped that we would see something more from it than just being a one-off thing for Main Event.
Yep.
Because they had good chemistry together, Rowan and Paige.
It could have been something weird that we haven't seen before, but instead they just shoved Paige back into the heel diva role in a 6 diva match.
Yeah, I gotta say, Alicia's finisher, which she hit on Cameron, I believe, that was a nasty-looking finisher. It looked pretty devastating.
Don't forget, though, coming out of this match, that both Paige and Alicia Fox are now in Total Divas, and Naomi's not. Was Summer the other one taken out?
Summer Rae.
Yeah.
Summer Rae then kicked off the cats, too.
Weird choices on cast changes there, in terms of removing a couple of the, I'd say, interesting characters on the show.
Yeah. Well, you also got to remember the JoJo got phased out for Eva Marie.
Yeah, true.
But JoJo has found herself a home as the NXT ring announcer.
But if you compare it more to, like, Naomi, which, to be honest, is being featured prominently on Raw in a, like, feud with her husband against Miz and stuff, that it makes sense to keep her on the show, I guess. But clearly...
They want to do other things with her, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's maybe beyond the limitations of Total Divas.
True. Hopefully having Total Divas does something for Paige, just so she just gets out. Get out.
Well, look what it's done for the Bella Twins. They're actually pretty popular now, outside of WWE.
True. It seems, I don't know what type of person or storylines they seem to be writing her for Total Divas, but I've seen a few ads, and I think there's some weird storylines in there for Paige.
Yeah, they have like pot brownies and Paige kissing Rosa Mendez. It's gonna be a screwed up season on Total Divas.
Yeah. So it's time to go into our current entrance theme. It's an NXT entrance theme. It's for Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy.
Don't make me say it again. Nice to meet you. So good to see.
And you're back with Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, Grady, Josh, and Brandon. Where we left off, The Miz versus Jey Uso. And Miz picked up the win with a roll-up.
In a black screen.
Mm.
Because he pulled Jey Uso's pants off.
But yeah. It's clearly that the Usos are going to be getting a title match.
Maybe even get the titles back.
Yeah, spoilers, they're getting their title match next week on Raw.
Yeah, the Usos are like John Cena. They always wind up in the title picture for no reason at all.
Well, you know, if the Ascension are coming, depending on what alignment they're coming up as, you need someone as the opposite alignment with the titles.
There's always that triple threat tag team match you can go with. I just love Damien Mizdow.
Fair enough. Well, you might be seeing Damien Sandow back soon.
A part of me wants Damien Mizdow and his silly antics to stay around, but then another part of me wants him to go back to Damien Sandow, the knowledgeable badass.
I only fear that if they do go back to Damien Sandow, he just drops entirely.
Yeah, because it kind of loses the uniqueness of the Damien Mizdow character.
I don't know. But we'll move on to the main event. The match that we always just have to have. The Miracle on 34th Street fight.
Yep.
Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose. We're seeing a lot of these two.
Yeah, it looks like their gimmick in this shoot is that they're going to have some extreme type matches, street fights, barroom brawls, TLC matches, which we saw a couple of weeks ago. And it looks like they're going to trade wins.
And, spoilers, announced again next week on Raw that they're going to have an ambulance match the week after.
Which I think has me leading me to believe that at the Royal Rumble, they're going to have a 3 Stages of Hell match.
Let's just keep stepping it up. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt picks up the win here, but Dean Ambrose did pick up the win this past week on the Tribute to the Troops show in a boot camp match.
And really, Ambrose had the last laugh anyway, because
Yeah.
he put him through a table, Wyatt through a table.
Yeah, that is...
Yeah, I like Dean putting Wyatt through a table, but I'm not too sure about the elbow drop. I feel like he has to do like a moonsault or something.
Yeah, he's more of a crazy guy, though, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I kind of expect something crazier. It's just an elbow drop.
I kind of expected him to take Bray to the top of one of the ladders and do dirty deeds off the ladder through the table.
Let's break someone's neck. I don't know. We're going to be seeing more of Wyatt Ambrose, and I'd imagine even more after the ambulance match. It seems to just be getting more and more crazy. When was the last time we would have seen a 3 Stages of Hell?
That would be Cena Ryback.
See, I barely remember that.
It was, I think Paige, I want to say Paige back in 2013
I think that's about right. That's
for the
what
WWE Championship match. It was originally supposed to be an ambulance match, and then Ryback said something he wasn't supposed to, and they turned it into a 3 Stages of Hell match.
Interesting.
Still making the ambulance match the final fall.
Yeah. Wee woo. Interesting. So what is the first two? The stages change, right?
Yeah, the stages change. Usually, at least one is some kind of hardcore element to it. One's like usually one. The first fall is usually a normal match. Second fall is usually something like a street fight. And the third fall is usually something like a last man standing or stretcher match or an ambulance match or something like that that gives a definitive result.
Makes sense. Taking bets on what the 3 stages are now. But yeah, Merry Christmas show. That's pretty much it. We got into the final show of Raw next week, which we've dropped a few hints for.
Yeah, a few spoilers, but
You can look
we
it
left a few things out.
So that's all we've got time for. It's been great talking to both of you guys.
Been great talking to you too.
Peace.
So you can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wrestling Roundup Radio, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/Wrestling Radio, or our website, wrestlingroundup.host22.com, or wrestlingroundup.host22.com, and I'll see you next week.